Bad breath treatment, causes, cure bad breath. Goodbye to bad breath forever by simply removing this small thing like a bubble gum. Terrible breath can be a major issue for some individuals, and many will be excessively humiliated, making it impossible to visit their specialist over an issue this way. Luckily, there are some normal home cures that you can use to help with your terrible breath. In this article we will cover some of those cures that might have the capacity to help take care of your terrible breath issue. Mint leaves are an extraordinary regular approach to help spruce up the breath. By biting mint leaves, especially after dinners, is a decent solution for terrible breath. The vast majority will brush their teeth just once a day, despite the fact that it is prescribed to brush both morning and night. In the event that you have a terrible breath issue, then it is fitting to brush your teeth after each dinner to help decrease and conceivably counteract awful breath. When brushing your teeth after every feast, you might need to brush your tongue. Moreover, numerous toothbrushes now accompany a tongue brush on the back, and this is an extraordinary thought for individuals with awful breath, as terrible breath is caused by the development of microscopic organisms on the tongue. At that point, brushing your tongue after every supper will keep the microbes under control and decrease awful breath. Another great approach to keep your tongue microscopic organisms free is to utilize a wash of preparing pop disintegrated in warm water. This is an exceptionally normal cure and totally sheltered, and is incredible at keeping your tongue clean. Sunflower seeds are another great regular cure, and are especially great on the off chance that you bite some after every supper, took after by a glass of water. Cloves are a decent terrible breath cure, however not every person will like the essence of cloves. In the event that you do, however, then simply ahead and bite one clove after every feast to decrease your awful breath. Pineapple juice is extraordinary to lessen the possess and aroma similar to terrible breath, as is parsley. Tea produced using fenugreek seeds is a decent terrible breath cure. These are a few solutions for diminishing the possess and aroma similar to awful breath and helping keep awful breath under control. The following are a few cures that are useful for disposing of awful breath by and large. Drinking hot unsweetened tea every day is a decent common solution for curing awful breath. Yogurt is an unbelievably successful approach to cure awful breath totally, as it contains the great microorganisms that your body needs. Eat yogurt day by day for 6 to 7 weeks for best outcomes. Pressing lemons into water and utilizing as a wash is likewise a decent common cure. You have to utilize the swish much of the time and keep on doing so until the point when all hints of awful breath have gone. It is not an awful plan to proceed with the wash every so often just to keep terrible breath away. An apple daily keeps the specialist away. Apples are an incredible wellspring of good well-being and are especially useful for curing terrible breath, as they go about as a purifier for the mouth and expel the microorganisms that resent awful breath. Nourishments that are rich in zinc help to forestall terrible breath happening, as they help to monitor microscopic organisms. In the event that your awful breath proceeds in the wake of utilizing regular cures, then it might be an ideal opportunity to visit your specialist and ensure there are no fundamental causes that might cause your awful breath. Regular cures do work exceptionally well for terrible breath issues, however, and as a rule they will be all you require. Good fortunes, and may you have sweet noticing breath for quite a while to come. Bad breath problems and causes. Since terrible breath is not a sickness, an infection, or a danger to life, many individuals essentially don't get around to making a move. It's likewise genuine that we may not know about our own terrible breath, and that other individuals are excessively respectful, making it impossible to disclose to us we have an issue. In the terrific plan of things, having awful breath is not a noteworthy issue that would occupy us from what else we have to do, as go to work, invest energy with the family, and get up to speed with every one of our errands. It's additionally very humiliating, so even the individuals who recognize that they have a terrible breath issue may abstain from making a move, since they would be embarrassed to talk about it with anybody. Admitting your breath notice is awful is something many individuals are not set up to do. It's a disgrace that such a basic thing as terrible breath must reason humiliation. It's once in a while anybody's blame that they encounter it, unless they are not dealing with their teeth or they have poor oral cleanliness. Awful breath can be to some degree a social quandary. Instructions to tell a companion, sweetheart or sweetheart, that they have it is laden with tension, similarly as having awful breath can be. Managing regularly with work associates or other individuals can be exceptionally awkward if your correspondence with them is very close. On the off chance that terrible breath is meddling in your way of life, You have to make a move. Frequently, it can be ascribed to count calories, expending certain nourishments, or experiencing some sort of stomach-related confusion. Or, on the other hand, it could be caused by a medical issue that is not even in closeness to your mouth. Odd as it might appear, issues with the liver, kidneys and digestion tracts can be endless terrible breath causes. Heartburn and awful breath are synonymous, and sugar diabetes side effects can incorporate halitosis too. Disposing of terrible breath starts with discovering what's causing it in any case. Your first port of call is your dental specialist, who will look at your teeth and within your mouth for any indications of contamination, tooth harm, gum illness and mouth ulcers. On the off chance that nothing of criticalness is discovered, you should then counsel your specialist, who will examine different reasons for awful breath. You may even have a terrible breath center in your general vicinity where you can go, and well-being experts there will evaluate the seriousness of your concern, attempt to decide the reason, and put you on course to some awful breath cures that will bring some help. The staffs at these facilities are knowledgeable in how to cure awful breath, since it's all they manage every day. They know the physiology that makes the condition, a wide scope of causes, and can suggest medicines for awful breath that your specialist or dental practitioner may not know about. There are restorative medications, home cures and naturopathic cures for terrible breath. There are old spouses' stories, counsel from individuals who've cured their own, tablets, mouthwashes, washes and eating regimen supplements that are altogether suggested for halitosis treatment. A few cures include precluding or including specific nourishments or changing one's eating regimen out and out. For those on the Atkins or South Beach abstains from food, awful breath will be an unavoidable truth. A high protein, low carb eating routine will dependably bring about the beginning of ketosis, and the health food nuts breath will start to notice fruity and somewhat upsetting. Taking out or extremely confining any fundamental components of the human eating regimen can have gentle to desperate results. A few people swear you can cure terrible breath with Zantac. Others demand that rinsing with an ounce of salt and water does the trap for them. Some have prescribed zinc as a treatment for terrible breath. Others have recommended getting colonic water system to detox the digestive organs. There are those, however, who are harassed with awful breath since they have sinus issues, tonsillitis or other throat or nasal objections. On account of the extensive release at the back of the throat, terrible breath can be constant. In these cases, surgery might be prescribed to soothe the more huge condition, which will thusly treat the awful breath. Terrible breath after a tonsillectomy is very normal, as the entry points should mend, and until the point that they do, microscopic organisms will have the capacity to multiply. So also if there are issues in the mouth, for example, gum infection, cutting intelligence teeth, abscesses, holes, rotting teeth or a serious development of plaque, awful breath will be an issue. Notwithstanding, having supports or different apparatuses fitted to the teeth can be a reason for terrible breath in light of the fact that the teeth can't be cleaned as effortlessly.